Welcome to C-Suite Sherpas, where we shine a spotlight on businesses and experts that you should know. I'm your host, Ron Partridge. I'm excited to have Nick Schichtle as our guest today. Nick, welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Ron.
Let's dive in. Nick is the founder of Search Insights CPT, and Search Insights empowers staffing agencies to reach record-setting profits through a combination of solutions, people, and development. Nick will dive right into that. Can you give us a snapshot of what your business is and the major outcomes that you get for your clients?
Sure. Yeah, happy to. Search Insights was recently founded. We're in our second year. And really what we are, and I think you alluded to it well, is we're three firms in one, which is kind of the uniqueness of it. We are specifically designed to support, partner with, launch, enable, empower staffing firms to do one side of the business that most of them aren't necessarily wonderful at. It's not their core business, and that's the direct hire solutions. And so, given my background, which I'm sure we'll get into, but bring expertise to these small to mid-sized staffing firms throughout the US, and there are like 12,000 of them, and give them the expertise that they need and are looking for to launch other forms or other solutions. Think of them as streams of revenue so that they can support their clients. It's a highly profitable solution and part of the business that most firms want, but they aren't experts in. They need that support and advisory services. We recruit talent in that direct hire solution space. We can bring talent to these firms. And we also do learning and development in the form of training, coaching, mentoring, from leadership all the way down to entry-level professionals. So that's what Search Insights does.
So you're working with these firms to generate this other form of revenue. You called it direct hire, correct? Do they have to build an organizational competency for that or an organizational capacity to do that? Or is it adjacent to what they do that they may already have the capability to do?
It's very much adjacent to what they already have. I use the example of flag football and touch football.
Yeah.
Right. So if you can imagine if you're a sports fan and you played flag football in the backyard or two-hand touch or whatever, when you're playing touch football or flag football, it's the same game as tackle football, but it's played very differently, right? You don't have pads and et cetera. You may play with three people instead of 11 on 11. I use that analogy when we talk about the direct hire solutions. It's the same game, nuts and bolts. We're putting great talent in front of exceptional companies that have opportunities, trying to find that match. But direct hire is played differently. It's the time frame is different. The quality and depth of information is different. So there's a lot of unique characteristics to both solutions, but they are fundamentally the same solution.
How does your background help you to work with these guys to get them to launch successfully?
I've entered into the industry, workforce solutions, staffing, recruitment, headhunting, human capital. In the recruitment field, more than 25 years ago. So it's been a bit. And I entered in on the direct hire side. So there's kind of two basic solutions in our industry. Temporary employment, where you work for a company, but you're on an assignment for another company. And direct hire services, where you take talent, you find that talent for a client, but the client hires the talent into their organization as their employee. So two similar solutions, but two different means. I was on the direct hire side, in the direct hire solution for roughly 25 years, climbed the ranks in terms of leadership and development and larger practices and larger teams. I've been fortunate to work for two of the five largest firms globally as their head of direct hire for North America and the US specifically, and then two of the fastest growing firms in the US as well. Again, head of their direct hire or search practices. So that's my pedigree. I've hired over 1,000 recruiters for my teams over that span of time. They have subsequently placed over 20,000 candidates with various clients all around the country and North America. Part of my passion is development of the people that we invest in. Learning, development, training, coaching, mentoring is a big passion of mine. I've done that. I've led teams. I started as a recruiter running a 360 desk in San Jose, California many years ago. I've climbed the ranks. I've been in the space for a significant amount of time. I've led large teams, 200 plus practices in terms of headcount. So that's what qualifies me to help these firms that can't afford to hire someone like me as a full-time person. I can support a lot of firms with that expertise. So that's what I'm here to do, fill the gap in what's not readily available to them.
Yeah, that's great. So, what would you say sets your business apart from others that may do similar things?
I think it's the three firms in one part. There's staffing agencies that are the temp staffing providers, and there are recruitment firms, and they typically specialize in that direct hire space.
Hmm.
The recruiting firms have trainers and advisors that offer services to help them do recruitment better. I'm another option for them. From a direct hire perspective, firms like mine help with staffing, temporary staffing.
Right.
I offer the direct hire solution expertise, which there's not a lot of options for them there. So I'm filling that gap, particularly for staffing agencies. There's a handful of firms that provide recruitment support for staffing firms and recruiting firms to find their internal talent. There's a handful of good ones. So I do that as well. That's the second part of the business. And then the training and development, again, for smaller mid-sized firms that maybe want more of a customized offering and curriculum for that's what I fulfill versus larger training firms that offer kind of canned courses, lots to offer, but you're buying access as opposed to the content. We offer customized content that you can retain for your own learning library and have forever. A little bit unique in those ways.
What is the biggest challenge that your industry faces, and how are you equipping your clients for those challenges?
Well, I think the biggest challenge right now might be adapting to AI and how it works for our industry. Our industry seems to be very good at that.
Mm.
My services really don't address that. What is a consistent challenge and big in its own right would be one, finding appropriate talent for their own hires, right? We're very good at supporting clients, meaning other companies and their hiring needs, whether it be temporary or perm, right? We're very good at that as an industry. We treat our clients like gold. We don't always treat our own hiring needs like we don't treat ourselves as our best client. And that's one of the training things that we also offer. Supplying qualified, interested talent to our own industry is pretty important. Once you have that talent, how do you invest in them? How do you help them grow? How do you make them a better professional? Oftentimes they're younger professionals, newer in their career is a very common approach. And so what do you do to help them become proficient or even master the art and skill of recruitment? We offer that. We're filling that need. And then lastly, for the staffing agencies that are wonderful at temporary staffing, but maybe not as adept at direct hire solutions because there's several to choose from, we fill that gap. Those are the three ways we're trying to help the industry.
Yeah, everybody always wonders what AI is going to do, right? It's
Right.
the topic.
It's interesting because our industry hasn't changed that much and since its inception in 1940s. It's understanding companies have needs, going to find the talent, and bringing them together. That's the basic concept. Not much has changed. Stuff has changed around it, right? When I got into it, computers and the internet came, and it's like, okay, that's going to kill our industry. Well, it didn't. We learned how to use it, and it made our industry more efficient and
Yeah.
effective, quite honestly. And then with the internet came Monster and Career Builder, and those were job sites and resume boards, right? And that, and like, oh, our industry is going to go away because everyone can just do it online. No, actually, our industry bought those platforms. And then LinkedIn and Indeed and Dice came, right? And oh, okay, you guys are done now. The recruitment industry is over. Like we talked previously, we almost taken over
Right.
LinkedIn to some degree. Matter of fact, a firm in our industry owns it. And now AI. And AI as well. With AI, you're not going to need recruiters anymore. It's like we're the ultimate people business. We don't have warehouses. We don't have inventory. We will use the technology that's created and find a way to make it work for us and our clients.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. So, all right, let me change it up a little bit. We're going to do what we call a lightning round. Give
Oh,
our
okay.
viewers a chance to get to know you a little bit more personally. If you're ready to go, we'll shoot some questions at you.
Shot.
All right. Coffee or tea?
Chai tea, actually.
All right.
I'm not a coffee drinker, but
Cats or dogs?
oh, dogs for sure.
What is your favorite movie or streaming series?
Oh, wow. A River Runs Through It is my favorite movie. A streaming series. Gosh, I just got done finished The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Hmm.
It's on Prime Video. I think it's based on the life of Joan Rivers,
Oh,
but really interesting. It was highly acclaimed, so I started it and I got hooked. It was 5 seasons a couple years ago, and I finished. So
oh, nice.
I'm a
Uh,
big sports watcher.
I think we all like that. Got a big Super Bowl coming up.
That's
Uh,
right.
favorite quote or phrase that you think about often?
What comes to mind is my dad's, and this is more of a lesson. When I left college, I was going through a difficult time transitioning away out of sports and into business, and how do
Yeah.
I do that well and fulfilled and that sort of thing. And not really knowing where I was going to be. He gave me the advice: control what you can control. I've not only used that for myself, but with my teams throughout my career, as we tend to take on stuff that maybe we shouldn't.
And that's a great philosophy because you can't worry about the things you can't change, right?
Right? Yeah.
All right. Favorite book?
The Bible.
I like that. All right. Last question, two-part question. Bucket list item that you've already accomplished and one bucket list item that you have not accomplished.
Mm. Accomplished skydiving,
Okay.
30th birthday. And actually, my wife did it with me too. So that
Oh,
was
that's
big.
great.
And I had some friends. And one I haven't done yet, I've yet to learn how to surf.
Okay.
I
And
was
there's
born in Hawaii,
one,
so you'd think I would be able to know how to do that.
you'd be an expert at it. One thing I want to bring up though is you've done something that's been on my bucket list, and that's played Division I college football.
Got the chance to play a little bit. Shout out to UCLA and Oregon State. Got to play a little bit, paid for my education, met my wife. It was a win-win.
There you
Uh,
go.
good times.
And she got a master's in the MRS degree.
Oh, I get it. No, I hadn't heard that one before. That's good. Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
The most important question is
Okay.
if our viewers want to get a hold of you and collaborate with you, what's the best way to get in touch?
They can check out my website at search Insights CPT for consult, place, train, cpt.com. I'm also on LinkedIn under Nick Schichtle. Probably the easiest ways to get a hold of me. We can leave a phone number as well.
Okay, great. Thank you. That was very insightful, and I appreciate you being on.
I loved it, Ron. I appreciate you having me.
Thanks.